He returned to a Kolsa house near evening. The sky was wrapped with heavy cold, and a village smart to be waiting for rain. He entering quiet enter did not save him. His uncle Camel was sitting near the stall holding prayer in one hand. Camel was an old man with a face shaped by hard air. He was not the lone person in the family but was a spoken other. Listened, he looked at Adil without him and asked where he had been. Adil said his business near the sleeve. Camel fingers top moved of the bright small press to Adil. Everything Camel down sometime about the old house. He had not accepted Adil to go there, but the now what was police made Camel told him that some road lead only to grave. Adil removed his coat and placed on a chair aside. Some graves are not quiet because the leaf kill their other Suknem eyes because art and asked his idol had been speak to see again. Adil true to him souls did not answer the question directly. Asked why everyone cares more of his question than of old. That's how Camel's draw his voice rose and he said the fight was not grace, not a story from mind and not a wood to open from a woman from a future side. Other took one step forward side. This was not about only me. Camel answered that well until it was always but me. Even when I used words that line struck Adil because it was partly true. Me had always been the hard name inside every reason. But now the truth was bigger than love. He told Camel about the paper piece, but not everything. He watching his uncle face colorful. When Adil motivation daughter named Camel look away, it was working, but Adil say he's injured because shepherd he asked of his father had now about the person Camel face one place. He told Adil not to speak about his father. His matter. Adil asked why Camel shot because the dead should be left in peace. Adil answered that his father was not his peace. If that carrier through everyone released, the room became silent. Even the sound of rain began outside, felt from where. Sat down, gained all, then he had looked moved before he said that other father had been a brave many, but they can become fullness when he steps in darkness without a lamp. Other felt the floor more under his life. His father is not simple being a wit. One of family conflict he had said he had now of eager fight people. Other asked what happened to him. Camel closed his eyes. He said the night told him the same. Keep the rest. Other stepped forward. He was tried to quiet and half sentence. He want fat Camel opened her eyes and said fat have a honor or thought. Honor is still alive. This was the first law floor. The scary was not accidents. It was not with people long died. Someone leaves to control. If someone leaves power to make strong men speak in right. Adil left the room before his angel made him say something he could not take out. Back outside, the run had started properly. He stood in a country and left hit his face. The cold water did not claim it, only made him feel more awake. He looked to forward the future side of a village. Somewhere there, spring was asked some question. Somewhere the someone was trying to stop to from here people side only as me were dangerous because they loved each other now. Others understood the real fear there was danger because together they joined to broke away of second that night. The valley did not sleep easily. One struck a road, stop, run down stone path and fell in a small stream. They flew toward in seas. Even house people spoke in low voice For they had grown large. Sam said Adil and Ismi had been seen near the cliff. Some said they were planning to run away. Some said the Color were preparing range. Some said the future would answer before morning. Nobody had proof, but the proof was near. Need anything a room only need fear, and fear was everything. Allison sat alone in her room, lighting a small lamp because the stone had made a power weak. She had followed the map who had been supreme word in the market. His name was quite many who worked and the usually kept his law. Nobody feared him because nobody thought his material that made him useful. Ali had seen him meet a woman, yet an old male. She had not seen the woman's face clear, but she had seen the ring on her hand. He was having silver ring with a draw green stone. Aline had seen that a ring before many years ago on hand of someone who was supposed to have left the village. She sat with his memory true if over again and again. The name was close to her tongue, but she was trying to say it even alone. She took out of an old notebook from her drawing he had belonged to her mother. Inside were names, dates, and small notice written in careful handwriting. Alaini had never understood why her maid mother had kept such record. Now the page said important. She drew them slowly. She reached a date from many years before the night affair because uncomfortable on the page. One line was written wrong, then another as a mother had been shake. He said three families found the two, but only two will bat from it. Alani starting and a sentence her eyes filled with a trifle. Three families, the court and the future was only two. There was a third family, certainly a missing root under the whole position tree. The next moving came with grace light. The run had stopped, but the word look, wash and try. Ismi what early thought she was at her steep chef founding Zulfi in the kitchen making tea with slow movement was not there. She that gave Ismi and Jane. She sat at the table and placed the torn paper in form of Zulfi. The older woman froze. Smith did not speak quickly. She sighed. She now Zulfi was afar, but where he's become a world all of them. She asked him again from third name. Zulfi keep her eyes on tea glass. She sighed and once before I asked him because there were people who moved between bathhouse, dry, find friendship hall, never life was not always divided by family name, illness list and careful Zulfi contained that once woman had been through Baba's side. Her name was the name entered the room like a ghost. Ismi repeated it softly. Son Zulfi looked at her and warned her not to say the name outside. Ismi asked whose son was. Zulfi said son belonged to small family from Hill, never rich, not powerful, but she had connected everywhere because she know people ring. He helped women gave breath carrying message between house and now which man leave which woman carry which your was not born from a store. People told Smith felt her skin to go cold. A woman like the could be loved fair Asian surface and sun disabled or silence looked told was like silent sun disabled after the night. Adil father died after a future name was founding near the shows the village. son ran away because she was torn money, but Zulfi never believed that. Ismi asked why. Zulfi said because son had left her child behind. The change everything. Ismi land founding son have a children. Zulfi not slow all title boy man be 4-year-old and time after son disabled the son boy was taken by relative from any other town. His name was changed on the people's side. Ismi asked from the boy was still alive. Zulfi said she did not know, but her eyes showed a duplicate. Asmi realized Zulfi now more than she was saying. He asked if son was not her names of the paper. Zulfi said yes, but the paper was not only about son, it was about a meeting on the night. Evening thing changed. Adil's father from a future house and son was exposed to meeting near the old Cliff's house. They were going to speak about sometime that could stop that in these inside blood came and after that story changed. Smith felt the room spin. The old clothes house had not been remarked. It was a place where peace and almost gave and where dignity had been born. He asked when what they are going to speak about. Selfie like she said she did not know. Smith did not fully believe her, but before she could push her into the kitchen, her eyes wanted to paper on table. Sophie could have covered if her hand, but to let ask what they were talk about. Smith looked at him, and from first time she wondered how much it now was younger than original even, but knowledge can pass be hide give from one generation to another. He told Ismail that she continued short would bring run to their door. Ismail replaced that run. He already lived in the house of years. She was only opening the container. Adil did not wait for the permission from his family. He wanted to her and find Hokan Ali had sent a short message through a trust shield telling him that Hokan was speed from by order of some Lee's. Adil founding Hokan upload carrying near the board. Hokan said him intermediate looked away. That was Adil walked toward him. The other walked because quiet. Hokan say him tried to act more normal, but its hand moved too fast. Adil asked who had told him to speak about Smith. The market Hakan rang normally and said people talk word do not need honor. Adil grabbed him by the formal chest and pushed him against as rocked of the wood box and half stopped moving. Her voice was low, which made it more frightening. He sighed, even whatever father has warned a father of his one console her. His eyes did not know anything. They learned close. He asked of Hakan now the same name. Soon the man's face changed before he could not control his eyes. Released him slow because of fear and Hakan eyes was more useful than focus. Hakan vision that he could not speak. Adil said already had Hakan looked around and begged him to leave if alone. He said people who asked about son do not say. Adil asked who want hunt him. Hakan said not who but what. Adil forward. Hakan looked toward the sea and said that all that his distress forward. Adil from his rest of the morning. The old is sounding look like something larger than one family. A died cold means money, blood, project and silence. Someone had paid from some time and other had been paying even since Adil went to Alaini and told her was circumcised. Alaini was waiting near the back of small away from village. She silent without the empty. Then she told him what she had read in mother's notebook. 3 families now the true 2 blood form is famous because hard. He asked the third family's name, Alaini Hissin. She said her mother never would is clear, but she had seen a ring the day before, a ring from family of a woman. Cousin Adil asked his son was alive. Said she did not know, but someone once his moving a village, Adil felt dangerous close around them. From son was alive, she could explain everything. He was that someone had taken her place. Athan was the story was a longer. Alini told Adil that must do not alone. Adil almost lunch said had been alone his life. Alin looked at him sadness and sighed. No, I had only believed he was alive because everyone around him was too proud to admit that drawing to this sentence stay with him. Alaini had a white was cutting through. She did not accuse, but a word each place people try to project. Smith later made Adil named old stone above the spring. They had choose a place where people already passed after run because the road the was small with moss growing between the stone belonged them brown water toward the sea. Smith told him about Ralphie confused. Adel told him Hokan as Alanis and the old debt. When Smith had son name, she called her eyes and name her weight. Now it was not just link a paper. It was women, children, disabled, a meeting possible by beginning of all of their sacrifice. The wood is a silence of wealth. And Smith said that his son had a shield that yelled that the key Adil Nobel children was lost. His mother could grow into a man with reason to hate both families on the children could have been used by other. Ismi asked if the authorities should in the old house was a shield. Other side voice sounded old but shadow can leave. Ismi looked and the bushes while she sighed. That person called his father by memory, not by Ron. Others say tried he said that meet someone from all night he was still alive. Esme said many more than once. The convey shift with other noticed Esme had she tried to hide if but he saw his acting from hat Hunt here is me intimate sight. No, Adil did not look convinced. She told him not every mold was made by hand. Some were made by living in house where every door watching you. Adil angry, soft and in pain. His sight is now something about us like that. Ismail looked and he meant from a move there were not even no thing lover, not children, two fighting names. They were simple to people who understood the shape of each longless. Adil said he was sorry, Miss and super. He told was simple, but from his the sound like stone pulled from deep water. He did not explain us first. Then he said he was sorry from every time he looked and here and saw only the future name. Ismi eyes filled with tears but did not let them feel. She said was no sorry to listen, sorry to fight a sonar, sorry to believe that pain was something he had to accept because everyone else accepted it. They did not touch, they did not embrace. That would have made the move too easy inside the stood apart on the old will the water run blowing them and the distance between them because smaller with out there above moving the move and when the hydra create from tree the tool quickly and finger run away between the two branches Adil calls after him but the path person now the land will is me waiting on the bright heart hitting heart many other written his shoe will cover his mood and his famous was he had not catch the person he had founding something dropped never the tree it was small piece of cloth rock below torn sacrifice as me face changed he was saw it he now that close he was from a kind of what is cool weather. Adil noticed his reaction. He asked if was Smith said she did not know, but duplicate had entered his voice. This was a careless part of two. It did not only point toward changes his research into homes, he made them question people. The loved one depend on Smith did not made to be involved in something as raw. He was controlling and watch, but it was still to blood to him following his bill. Many help other him through hunting in ways she had not accepted. Adil said this pain is not passing. His simple folding the cloth and give his hair. He said should he eat Smith asked why. Adil said because it kept it he would throw into an anger before it became proof she should grow him the old. Adil would him stone into a future house and access before everyone knew. Adil shared by two Smith pressure understood the anger could destroy and give the what they want. Smith looked at him what quite surprised the notice and asked what which side. Nothing but her face side. He had said choose patient over and that meeting something in the village. The height remained more faster but afternoon any other speed. This time people side Adil his attacked. This time people said Adil attacked Hakan and because Hakan now after meetings between Adil and Ismi the truth had been twist again. These people who want law extra now to use the village anchor from the did not need to inside a holding the only a small two. It become a Hakan disable before evening is 5. He told him he had gone to visit a skin cousin, but nobody believed it. Alice went to their house and saw where his wife was famous. The woman would not open the door full. She only saw Hakan had made a mistake by talking too much and now had to be quiet. Alice asked who told him to be quiet. The woman closed the window door. The night is in the research room where he was outside his hands shook not from fear from began but from fear of finding something he did not want proof against him. He wanted proof that he was unconnected. He opened the checked the coat pocket and looked behind an old ward and first there was nothing there under fold worn cloth. He found a small envelope. Inside was money and not with only a tiny was place written on it. The place was the old mill. The time was night. The was named Ilmi had dropped. The old mill was where Ilmi had seen Okan meeting. The woman was around, was wanting him to connect before listening could but everything back. He had footsteps. He quaked through returned the involved in the place and stepped away from the entrance stop when he saw her is moved around the room. Is now Smith tried to look lame. She said was looking for else. Closed the door behind him, asked of the she finding what she wanted. Smith sat on. He came close and said people who research in other people's rooms often find time they cannot carry. Smith looked at him directly and asked when he was carrying face, but his eyes showed where his side was carrying the family where they tried to break it. Smith asked him about son who want to steal the family as most and he gripes his arm not but strongly to show pain. He told her never to say that name again. Smith pulled her arm free, asked why everyone was afraid of a woman who up disappeared a year ago. Looked forward the window, then spoke in low voice. His sad son did not disappear. She was removed. Smith flagged the room. Independent looked as if the speaker SMS asked who removed hair. Said his had already said too much. Smith stepped forward him and said if now son was a harm and still silent then he was part of Lee. He said some silent projectile leaving Smith's son that some lesson murdered them slow left the room but now Smith now the water ignorant. He now last one true son. He not simple unaware she had been for was outside the clique. Esme sat on the side of bed after the left. She left still this wall of house mail closed, and before his family had not only then her project the story around if any be they project the so Hamby had project someone was Adil man well born to his father on blowing again. This time he did not search on the paper, he searched for anything connected from the hotel house from redubbed in the button of old box under a low of clothes. He found a small metal key attached to was tip to draw mark into. There was across a line. Adil had been that mark before but never cared about it. Was not only story drawn near the place on use anyone because a bill had part his father kept his key to that place. Why one day after the airborne and night was different from airborne day. The boat moved click rope ponds is for some where a dog barked and the stove. Adil found the old storage building near the fair. Finding behind structure the door was old from year of air but the key the alone made his heartbeat faster. Inside the smell of salt, rot and rope filled the air. He used a small file flashlight and searching careful ahead. First he found only Brock told and fish neither noticed that on wall sounding water open on it is a pool and lost boat and finding a near space behind. Then inside it was cold vapor or skin to project from it. Adil opened it was slow and inside were letters, small notebooks, a photograph showed the three people standing there. The house many years ago. One was his father, one was a young man. Adil recognition from all future people. The third was woman with dry eyes and his face on her head with a silver ring with the red ring. Stones on Adil fell beneath leave his body. The three people the photograph were not in his store clothes. But used like people preparing to do someone dangerous. He opening the notebooks. It was his father writing. The page was damaged but readable. The word were be written. His like made his head the doctor his fell. Soon have proof future blood was used to hide his. If we speak together, they cannot divide. To use Adil wrote this line again and again. Fell. This was not only about long pride on family honors, yet been some work, some high tries, many be thought that see someone had been bought family, someone had created blood between them to hide and other claim. Adil wanted to run to excuse by he focused himself to stay read more one page notation or name. The last name was a particular by water, but Adil could make out young refuse. The Shaker family had left the village again. Everyone said he took the papers and left the story building, but as a stop outside, someone struck him from behind. Pain flashed through in hand. He felt woman keen. Still grabbed the bundle. A second blow came out. He rolled away. A man in a dark coat stood over him. Adil could not see his face cleaner. The fort in wet darkness crashing against and ropes. The man tried the group. The bundle Adil held on a push. The man had the act stomach. The man ran to further board his disciple between shadow before Adil could catch him. Adil was black from side of his head, but still had the paper there. Mental more the pain his now. The head in was matching every step they had now. They could find the storage room of their had followed him, and when with the time of quality research was ending, the room was no longer one dangerous his memory, it was dangerous in the present. At midnight, Isme warned the old male. She did not told anyone. She carried the blue cloth in her pocket and kept her steps off the old male story and out of the village near on the road. The club toward the hill. The wall his stop work long ago, but the bill remained stone black. But run an edge, Smee had behind a brockwell and waiting. The moon moved between cold hair. She her footsteps before she saw anyone, a woman first. Her face was covered by, but the hand was visible. On the finger was a silver ring. When the green stone is me heart proved the woman's studio. Till waiting, the han arrived. Ismi almost made us but cover his mouth. The walk toward the man with hanging bodies asked why she had come back now. A woman answered that she had never truly felt her voice an old but is a strong her own said she promised to state had the woman language quality and side promise made under there to not leave forever. Smith felt the blood leave from face was the sun. The woman spoke like someone who hears spread runners and written with finger under their skin. Sad people were asking questions. The woman answered that people should have asked a year ago, said Ismi had found the paper. The woman drew silent from her trouble. Second, Ismi thought she had been seen, but the woman who looked toward the village light, she said Ismi had her mother's cover. This confused Ismi. Her mother, what did Sunny now about his mother stepped close and told the woman not to speak about Ismi's mother. The woman said everyone want to control woman name, pain, woman graves, but names have way of written. Voice broke with anger. Aside from Sunny, continue Adil and Ismi world. But Bickelson answered that the whale already living under a slow death should have a project Ismi and this year son asked of because the person hold the key say so Ismi pressed her hand against her mouth till filled her eyes did not answer. His shoulder dropped and from the first time Ismi saw him not as control brothers, not as a family guide, but as the fighting man dropped by something old did himself and told that people were moving again. The old was began collection. Become Adil had found the first proof. Looked shocked. He asked now she now son said the sea. Tell her what man tried to have this. She gave him a small packet and told him to give to Ismi White House against her own refused and pushed it into hand and said the day would come soon. Who said he could not better his family's and answered that telling the truth was not insult the family itself and married to land before Ismi pulled hair more and stone simply under his foot. The sound was small but his pair true in Bardia Ismail stopped back. Burson spoke first. He said commercial have fold your lung igloy Ismi froze. The was a point height now. He stepped in the moonlight or her filled face with on. He said her name like a once. Ismi ignored him and looked and the woman she asked if the sun. The woman removed the service from her face. She was old at the photograph of cover, but the eyes were the same, draw, clean and full of run, but had become stand. She said yes, the work seemed to stop around Ismi. This what had been the misname, the ghost in the family story, the person everyone fears me asked what happened the night year goes and looked it and then back and Ismi she said true could not be proved into a concept she could not overflow Ismi said FT overflows on me smile sad and sight shows on like someone in me she had loved Ismi asked to son answer your mother short from son to stop Ismi through to him shock and mother had always been spoken of God and alcoholic she died when Ismi was young and family kept her memory soft almost silent now Sony was speak as a Ismi mother had been part of her part Ismi demand to now for the mother now that the finder built of the flu and stone shipment she want to expose it to what Adil father and future how that the night but before the cool speak Rafe snack discovered this plan and made sure the meeting become a blood scene. He drew a line in mini that disappeared behind the hotter decorate. Isme cold breeze. She asked him her family now soon said some now peace some guess some sure not to now because not now is there went to ask from courage looked discovered is told Isme had been a shield but most of opening letter is a language to understand dangers but not yet to fix it. Isme asks why stop his insight of helping around said because everyone who tried to fix it was actor and simply he said he could not watch the same happen to her. Isme eyes brown. She had he watching her life half alive inside on step between them, not a of the pain but the direct it she said blank cold where superly could not Rafe Shank was not go he had written thought other using that fair and all business the shocking name had been from sign but not of power. His people said control high road thought the coast the between course and future and always project the road when the two family had each other they never looked together and the see the watching each other inside the that was the hunting had made then build guide for many other of men curse and the same time other was tried to what the old bride tried to eat his blood from the head he neared his temporary this paper with the hide under his coat. This had found the name Rafe shocked. He had found the photograph. He had found his father, not his need. Ismi too has see. Then he did not know the Ismi was already standing before sun. He did not know the Uran was there too. He did not know the any other car had begun for following him from the harbour road. The night tide around of them all the old male son heard the sound of an images in the distance. Her face changed. She told them to leave her, asking where she would go. Soon said she had been running from here and now to disable Ismail. Her arm and side now she would not left the to disable against and looked at her with the deep slender. She said true is not one person and she felt the room must keep Hill walking, she had me a small print inside a whole piece of this paper. Some said it was a map, but not of land. It was map of name, people who were bright, people who live, people who had, people who still on the old lived. Highlighter apple on the road across under his breath. His pole is behind the broken walls uncover his face again and moved the back path but before she could leave many stopped from the darkness. There were three of them, one hold again low and each side is me who body true cold more informative. Here the man with the gain tools and the rough want to speak with her son language of and aside, Rafa had won too many things in life, and most of them and told the man less again, or told him to love it. The man's side had done planned to be law. Now he should step and continue with them. Ismi understood that now had been playing and dangerous game. He had spoken to son. Many had information. Many he tried to protect the family. But he was not fellow with Rafe. We trapped between fair and low target. Now it that means it was only So ending Smith's step forward, disabled, trying to stop her. She asking Rafe he was so offered of an old woman that is ending her men night the grave. Simple aside, Rafe was not afford of old woman. He was careful with unfinished business. A car arrived fast, stopped near the mail. Father stopped out. His face was brushed, his eyes Brong, he looked insane in 1 second. Smear Hanson, the arm and the ground. True to what him, others left the band of paper inside. If Rafe want unfinished business, I should come inside. The man at that had not accept Adil to arrive with proofs and look and him saw his father's face and him for moved crossed his eyes. He watched his father's name Adil here. It the sound of his mouth was different from now. Others spoke. It was not politician name, not a family name, not symbol. It was or for someone she had. Now I moved the grave. I mean the web full. Now everything became still as me move with the out thing and store beside Adil short hair to move back. He did not. Adil looked and hair surprised. He often he did not look and him her eyes stay from the again. She said if they want to brand the true again they would have to brown bath house with it came to her outside the shock even Oya was not embarrassed him as but the was standing against the immense sun stood behind them. The old on no longer hide the game length and the side title unit were not last unit morning. Adil wasn't the main not but it had lasting long two stays of the man simplified in distance. Lily Juliet began to move. Someone had seen the car or many except dangerous had steep people toward the male. The again looked anyone any other. They were not freed from witness. The leader stepped back before leaving in game of war. He sat the seat took back with belonging to it. They were disabled into a dark road. No one moved from service. Second, the dangers have passed, but only from moved. Smith too to Adil. He saw the blood on his hand, hair, fork through everything. Only she asked with happiness. Adil side it was nothing. She touched near the wound and said, "Many always saw blood." No, nothing when they do not know how to accept care or you looked away uncomfortable with the darkness between them but did not impact that itself. It was new. Sun told them the need to discuss quickly by morning. Rafe will now that proof was no longer hide. It would move against Toronto policeman, fear of family shame, he had a surprise from here because he never attached only one person. He attached reputedly married business demons. He made people doubt each other until they destroy themselves. He asked where person who had kept road from the old road. A man named Hadir once a book of the business he lived a movement village now present to be half made so people would leave him cold proof the driver fails. The crowns and future blood and being used to the cover others and the will go up before Oreo said he was coming. I gave him a hat look. Oreo didn't eat the old return between then was ago. They were not friends. They did not trust each other. But understood that road he could not be walked by only family alone. Ismail looked between them. He said if the got each other and aware of it will not need in me. The two men said nothing. The sailors was their agreement. The Alaini arrived soon after with to trust village when he saw Sanda stop like she had seen someone return from Tyson looked and the hair with one and sparrow. She said Alaini had his mother eyes. Alaini face broke with emotion but he controlled herself. There would be time for later if the surprise she told them people were coming, not many, but to make the seniors public soon said. public was dangerous but also useful. Raphael like shadow, the more like they create the heart, it will not be from him to more freely. The group separate before more Willie arrives and west through the back path. Look as me home by sand road, but this time they did not grab him like a walk beside her like a guard who no longer whether the dangers was outside the house or inside Abdul went with the Alani to clean his wand and hide the papers on the way. Alani asked if he trust Adil said no. Alani asked him trust Elmi. Other looked toward the road where she disappeared. His side, yes, the walls came. Then accept Alani's smile faint. She said that the had a red cross, the harding and the future house. Yes, me interquired the Zarfi was not waiting. She saw their face and now the night and changed. Then Oria placed the package Sunny had gave on the table and looked at me and said it was from here. Ismi opened it was finding all letter written by her hands show her organization. The all written from small notice key in a family chat. The first letter began with the sentence that made her feel lost. My daughter, if you're reading this, it means this lead longer than I want. And me sat slow. The room fed around here. Mother had not been only a quiet woman, slow by family sadness. She had forgot she had now she had left word behind. Zarfi began to care without sound. Arya stood near the door, looked broken. Ismi read only a new line before she had to stop. Her mother's work about the old about Rafe Warson, about Adil father, about a plan to bring both families together and expose the road. She wrote the head was big, planted between Cornsey and future ship path. Sad would be too angry to see the real thief. She wrote that she feared someone must one day tell Ismin that love was not shame of my family. The shame was letting fear direct itself and honor. This letter changed Ismi from inside her family. She thought her heart was a problem. She had been made to feel quite of loving course aligned by other. Now the mother were told her that the line itself had been drawn by circle and covered. Ismi pressed a letter to her chest, not like a work person, but like someone less fear of one. Zerfi came to her and put a hand on her. From a first time in a long time, the old woman did not speak in warmly. She sympathized. He was sorry. Ismi did not answer, but she did not move away. Idly in Alani's small house, read his father notice book more careful. His father had written about Ismi about mother with the self scare. Her brain, her what she believed were children of bath least so called leave free. If the truth came out, he also wrote about killed the boy had been something on the night of the meeting that was taken was true the page, but the next part of the damage in only a few to forward part of damage only remembered the boy remembered the ring and Rafe not left his speak Adil forward where the boy was no if the boy have surprised he would be around Adil like age man old he could anyone often asking a man is half surprised when the shadow and the old house morning come to be click the village walk the news there's something had happened and old male one now the full story say everyone inside one the future have closed his door. The Corky house become slightly camel demand to move where Adil had comes home later with the blood on his hand, but Adil did not explain. He only said he was going the mountain road. Camel blocked the door and asked if the out son Adil looked from him. The time from present was covered sideways. Camel's face fell with fear. He told Adil doesn't return meet that would flow. Adil answered that Adil had went to last to look the man his eyes, camel grapes and arm, and from the first time I spoke pain inside Adil father that because he trust and true would be a it was a young trust needs project true need witness true need people will to stand after first short Adi reason under the view camel was not telling to sport because he loved the lines he was telling him because he had been covered before Adi saw the title he said then would make his mistake he would not stand alone camel looked at him from love moved the lacing arm he said if Adil was going to harm it she could told appear road the road was too easy to blare Adil started at him camel now about Adil of course she did everyone who had touched the old true now one piece camel true away aside nothing more Adil made Ismi and Oreo outside the village before surprise Alini came to carry her mother's notice book. They did not look like a unit group that looked like people focused together but same stone Adil and Oreo studio on opposite side of the road but surprise into studio between them tight but clear eyes she had read from her mother's letter to now the going back and impossible. The girl who had accepted silence was gone. The woman standing there was now carrying her mother unfinished curry. They began the drive toward the movement into car. Adil drive the first car with Alice beside him. Smith sat in the back, reading his mother letter forward behind his own car, watching the road dark close. Slow disabled blowing then say become a vast dark sheet in the distance the road clear thought with tree and road village from a will not spoken this scene was not empty it was filled with all the things and hard learning and all things there were for to learn next Ismi finally looked up the form letter inside his mother now Adil father Adil had a letter from the well inside his father warned about to Ismi asked what Adil then he had called his brave Ismi through toward the window colleague at tree. Her family evolved their mother colleague from year one had one notebooks and began as to name brave the words black like a gift written about began stone. Laini said the brave people were often made quality after death because Ali were often of this example. This made me think of how many women had been thrown in the soft modernist soul once full asked what they had for fair mother, son, men in rainy mother, two women carry message high proof writing notice book projector. Children remember what man tried to bring the story had always been told as better between powerful men but under it woman had kept the true lead they reached Adil village near now it was small hill with stone house and garden faced by road. The cooler there hardly lived and the art of the village house that looked almost aboard chickens moved his yard a broke learn against the wall in the cooking no answer was right behind the and told then made the old was a voice from inside answered that when did not like the door open a store and old eyes looked out Humpty was thing with white hair and face of full lines. He small tober and would smoke. He looked and each of them careful when he smoked. Say Adil, he that ghost would become lazy because they now came in day night. Adil side is one not good. Adil answered the sun or only grows failing new skin there. Asked me his expense in change his species of mother name expense to for what else said he was dangerous. Dr. Adil opened the door inside the house was but not mud paper was stuck everywhere tight with sting. I didn't Behind wallboard, Hadil was not half-mad. He was man who had made Nasa shield. He told them people leave made many alone because they think he toward are useless. That had said we Adil show his notice book and photograph. Adil hold the photograph and said slow his hand. Trouble said they were all young, then young of belief proof. Told hungry for power. Smith asked about Rafe. Adil spat into a near the stone side. Rafe was not a man, he was whole. Everything near him felt in control, said Rod. Good and debt that never extra with Corcoran and future families began to caution missing money and Rafe made the substance each other a man here a stole board there are forgotten witness a plant and sown to families where to buy having to notice and his pocket. Adil asked about his father. Adil looked at him with pity. Sighed. Adil after understood too much. He tried to his mother son as witness together that night should have ending the line halfway through it into a breath of felt. Asked if Hadi had proof. Hadi gave him a shape look. He asked if a future house was zero for proof or only read to control if lowered his eyes. His small champ was important. He was beginning to say himself clear. His side did not know what his house described, but his me described to Adil to study him and notice now. Then he studio and moved the back wall. He removed a lost stone and pulled out of material box. Inside was gates enclosed that payment names, birth number, fares and signature. There were code show after Rafe had paid many vast families like the later hand killed. Disaggregated page proved that the old used to control the family had been inward. Adil felt the weight of the box. This was what his father died from. This was what his mother and tried to project was son taken tried to project. This was son had not romance, not pride, no simple misunderstanding, money, power, and fear. Two marks of horns from ear. Smith looked and light and felt but refused because True extraordinary because True was elegant and she mean before the cool discussed what to not next. She broke the window glass floor across the room. Adil fell back. Smith crashed. Adil pulled hair down. Audio grazed the metal box and kicked the table over from cover, aligning here toward Adil, who was blinked from his shirt but a leaf. Any other show stock wheelman were outside after people he fought then aggressed where the wood got the house that had proof from here now under attack. Adil short from everyone to move toward the back. Adil everyone point to drop under an O-ring. His side the moved there more door than now. I had left it a note passage led under the house at all to forward but the tree aligning had hardly done first. Isme looked the letter and notice book. Adil looked the late stayed there the door to the attach. Adil looked at him and tried not to play hero or you gave one crushed smile inside. He was not doing it for him. Adil answered as now he was the cold star that had come to respect. They expanded through the passage as the foreman door broke. The passage was raw, damp and low. Isme cracked with mud on her head and her mother let her press against the chips. Behind them, man shot his the house. Then smoke began to enter the tune. They were bring the house. Hadir grow not from his world but from thief. His record is sharp. His long ear of all through to fire. Aline told them that the lead Hadishi said the house had been his grave of yourselves many before with a clear ending. They came out among trees behind the village Oreo help the word. Adil looked back and said, Smoke reason the attached Wilson researched the area they had to. But Ismi stopped from one moment and looked at the burning house. She understood now the truth always at a cost. Every person who carrying it lost sometime. Her mother lost his life, son left her children, and then Hadi had lost his peace. Father lost and everything. Now the cost have reached them. Adil can beside her. He did not all not to carry. He did not tell her to be strong. He only stood with her from one breath. He said them had to make the course mean something. It's me not. They moved this to tree the section and with the them along. Search of proof become proof is now this hand, but having proof is not the same as meaning. Fear now that it will steal from people who can grow fighting on flow the Cochran and future families are still not ready to stand together and cross the line, but man not surprised the consequence on his life, but written Hadi is word. Lean mothers notice men hold more name Adel can carry his father fig and Ismi carries the mother finally but as a mortal what movement for rest the sea is fear belonging them but the sound still to follow the water is no longer only a symbol of sadness is coming a witness for here the sea slow bodies and leave, but it returned one by one. The storm had ending. It have only changed wrecked and the time when the sea flow. It too many not stop and showed the forest about the village was with cold and full of fat sound. Rainwater fell from the leaf. Every thought the week have stopped running up. Every branch seemed to move with the ones. Every stone under their feet flat lost other work. First was the material box under the coast holding it close to his body like it was children and had to project a me floor behind him carry his mother letter inside his jacket. Alaini Alpahadia whole shoulder was playing through the clothes right around it, walking and the back through again and again to change if anyone was flowing. Then nobody spoken for a long time. They were all saving the breath from heart path and but silence also came from shock. Only a short time ago they had been asked from proof. No proof was with them and whole work had become more dangerous because from it Hadi burning house was behind them hid by tree but the smell of smoke still flowed. It makes father soul of feel weather when pain smell looked back once and saw a dark line reaching the sky. The smoke was not only from wood and oil wall, it was air of height, it was of man lonely lesson from secondary court from favor that had slept under our floor too long. She felt sorry for her, but she also felt injured how many people had been forced to live like for because Rafe want power, how many had look home names and family because two strong homes were fall into a hating each other. They answer to painful so she could work Adil moved quickly but not careless. His hands still hunt from the attack and the heartbreak and the fresh fight and response the word blood had tried near his hairline, but he did not touch it. Pain was not important now. The light was important. His father notebooks was important. His mother letter were important, and things more paper. There were voice. There were witness. There were the died family speaking after years behind under family pride. Adil had spent much of his family believing their string means stanza alone, but now the felt the strange weight of shared purpose. Isme cared part of true, Alaini cared any other part had the care memory, and even Oreo, the man Adil had wanted to hit without limit was now part of the stranger's road. After near one horse had stopped beside a full tree and learning, having against his face had gone place. Alaini told him his name. Rest Hadi tried to rank, but the sound came out weak. His said only bone and were not good friends. Looked and the blood on Hadi's shoulder each side, then had to treat to properly before he lost too much blood. Adil checked the path behind them. There was movement, but they did not mean say Rafe. Man, now this movement on their will soon find someone who did still Hadi could not keep walking like this. The movement dipped in the tree and found a small sheep heater made of a stone and wrought wood. It looked unused, but the roof was still strong to hide them inside the heat. The air was cool and smell of old smoke. Oreo found a broken stool and helped Hadi sit. Alaini opened the cloth around his shoulder. The belt had passed through the flesh near the top of his arm. It was injury, but no need to kill him if they change. It click smooth tone and clean trip of inside from here. Adil found a small bottle of water. His bag as gave it to Alaini. And Hadi still will. Alaini watched the word Hadi in teeth, but did not care out when the pain because too much. He looked at Adil and sighed. His father had the same hard face when he was trying to not to scream. Adil looked away. He did not know how to answer a memory like it. Isni watched Adil say she was right. Inside him from years, his father had been assembled almost like a stone state built by his family story. Now the state was become a man again, a man who had friend plans and many rejects, a man who had tried to project both families and failed. Adult graves was changing shape. Before it had been simple grave change angry. Now it was become deep, more complication. He was not only more a father, why did was mourning the two father have never got to now. Well, Alaini tied the cloth around Hadi's shoulder. Alaini sat near the small window and opened more. Her mother rattled his hand were cold, but she forced herself to read. The water was written in a simple word, but even line carried pain. His mother wrote she had seen Hatter began plant between the family like a sea. At first the line was small and missing both on the work side. Written in log book, a young worker between and told to name the one small. Then the line grace many who had one shared tea began to carry against women who had once helped each other. A breeze stop across each other door. Children learning to step when a height. The other family names his mother would that she had where the lean would become story. The memory is me close. Her eyes there was extra what had happened. Adil sat across where her opening his father notebooks again. The handwriting was his place claim in other some page were damaged but means was clear. His father had written about Rafe road fell had payment and people who disappear after asking question as one line struck other tip is the key constant and future part of the sea road remain. He read it in the sea road remember that was chaotic. The families had watching each other with that and nobody watching the real road where crime of traffic did not only perfect from the field in it he find was her carry student at the door with his arm crossed, but his friend had lost some of his old hardness and was listened even when his present not to his me looked at him and asked when the first-eyed son name did not answer at once. The head becomes quiet. Even Adi looked at him straight on the floor. He said he was 14 when the heart was speaking in storage room of a future house. They thought he was outside the spoken of sin. If she were a state side, she had come too close to return the side. If the opening her mouth or grace would not be young to hide the shame Oreo had been too young to understand all of it, but old to feel fear. Later, in last question, he was bitten off for it. After that, he learning to listen without beginning. His face moved of the move, but only for move. She asked why I never told her. Oriole looked and heard with pain inside. He was here that later he was because all the dangers around here already grow when watching here because they now her mother had left something behind. Oriole said his belief control over projection. He believed his kept Ismi inside the family world where people could not reach her. Ismi eyes filled with all anger. She tried to project the body by grace her life. Your Lord, his scientist did not define himself. The silence was no, the old would the looked like a man hearing the sentence of Kari here already now had commands audio. Adil looked and felt sometime he did not want to feel not forgiveness and not friendship but understand Oreo had made man wrong choose but had also shaped a near fear made his right and guide had beat his grace Adil now something about that anger had made him hard to pain had made him unfair to men were not the same but bath had been used by all line is different way. Adi suddenly spoke inside Fabry greatness style was not thing of skill, his greatest darling with teaching people to become their own God. Everyone looked at him and continued slow as a Sarwafe whole trait, one person shame and other pay any other then attack back at the field. The village did the work for his family's voice that daughter man was this brother old caution print and confidentiality accept the final Sheffield did not need to stand in every doorway because face to there from his smell looked down at the mother later she thought of Valeria she had banished herself from a voting did different life many be died was also part of the place make people feel from the name that they will close their letter careful place it back inside a jack then she said they need more than proof they need a way to make people listen other agreed they simple walk into a village and where light in a year after people would call they fake the families will agree with a village will separate again the prophet to be shown in a way that was not easy. Alina looked out of mother notebooks and placed it on the floor between them. She said there were names on the notebooks that matched name in the land somewhere had left somewhere still alive in the village. They could not get one living witness to spoke public. The paper would become had to listen in Adil North. His side paper can call line be fair. The leaf man Isaac had to Adil asked who could still speak. Adi gave a better smile. His side man could, but few could. Then he named one person. Kamal Adil wants to his uncle, the man who had won him hide things and spoke his half true. Adi can Kamal had been near the Horborn on the night everything changed. He was young then, not powerful, not full part of all the decision, but he saw the one boat arrive. He saw one more good under crores and future flag he saw to now the blood the forward was arranged Adil had to find camel and carry his from here he had allowed Adil to grow up inside Ali but he had also been a father Adil did not now the feeling was stronger anger to Beethoven and said there was any other witness of future. Zerfi Esme trolled quickly or not. He said Zerfi now who came to house after Esme's mother died. She now which letter were taken and which where had she now voted the man who exact the Korean Esme looked hard Zerfi and gave her all peace but many thought peace were all she had been brave to give. He said and had to witness one house that was important. It only one family spoke, the others were cold, reject it as act. But if both sides spoke together, the old way would create other store and move to the small door outside. The Mr. had start to reach between the tree. They had to return before finishing the story first. Hadi laughed weakly and sighed. After had already started. It was ready. Right down in the village, the story already changed 3 times. Afternoon, first people said Adil and me have expense together. Then they said Ran had gone to kill Adil. Then they said Hadi, the man, old man in the mountain village, had them with some old Oskiro by aiming different people by pushing a more dangerous variant. They said Adil has stolen old document to fly. Respect family, the said Asmi had been be watching by old family Shane that said the crowns was planning to use fake proof to take future land. The village belief and the want him and people want to sorry that a lot of them the key hitting was earning the attention had been slow. Rafael himself did not appear in public, did not need to work through phone calls and favor fighting opportunity and men who now is money up with her Irish courts house asking question about all the attach on Hocken and Horborn any other men want to front house and one selfie dies me was begin seen dangerous people. Hocken was still missing his wife and Kerry, but no speaking. The tight house was a full. Even table had a different room. Zulfri sat alone in a huge house, hold the head of its black surface. She had now this day would come, but now did not make it his son, like Orion, was gone with Ismi. The fellow howl without their tent. She thought the Ismi mother remembered the day the young woman had stored in this name's room, brave and place, saving the list with would destroy the children. Wolf had begun to say what she had said. There will be time later, but later had never come from here. Later become grave. The story then warned Wolf's tree face slow. She had thought, yeah, silence was safe. Now she say it had been any other from a camel with alone. But in their house he held prayer pain again, but his finger was not moving. Adil what had broke something inside him. Grey quiet only when the living stopped living. Camel had spent air telling himself to stay silent to project Adil, but what had Adil been project from true Ajusis? Remembered Adil's boy standing as a father grave too young to understand why others around us looked more fun than sad. Camel and had placed and sold and promised himself he would keep the boy alive, had kept him alive, yes, but he had also found him life well, but for Angel was suppressed. He gave us children every day. Near inside the group from a mountain reach an order about the village. They did not enter intermediate the stop and brain where Hadi could rest again. From there they could see the lily light belonging and see blowing them. The sea looked clean from the most incorrect Ismi told, and the opening of and starting done and house somewhere as house women were cook dinner, children were asking questions, old men were told half true story and rapid line and moved from mouth to mouth. The village looked small, but the pain side it was hang other can be side yet we did not speak of his side. Then when he was young he used to think the village he was whole. What Ismi said she had thought the same is sad man be. That was why the line became a larger when people believe their village the whole world. Every family shame feel like the end of simple life. It's me not, she said. Every fun life feel like a where Adil looked and the here the what left store between the quality that did not true for it at this time, but that did not step full into too much was still bring around them. Ismi asked what would happen after the truth came out. Adil looked down and the village side it did not. Now many people would in many be the family would throw on them. Rafa would Ismi asked about the not village. Adil understood. His face soft, his side he could not promise peace. Ismi answered that she has stopped believe in every promise. Adil said he could not promise not to his innie again just because fear became. This was no romantic line, but it reached heart more deeply than a beautiful speech. He looked at him, sighed, if could promise the same behind them. Around reaching in the silence, the scene was difficult from him. Part of his still want to pull experience away. This all inside and not that of one night, but any other part of him said that what is refused to serve. Fear. Adil did not look and asked me like a man tried to tell her from family. Looked at her like someone standing there beside the only person who understood the stone. Threw away shame of how many times he had called that dawn dangerous when prayed he had been through trying to find his pattern. Alaini joined them and said they need a plan. They did not work his bathhouse with chaperone and hope of courage. They need one people place more movement where both family had to listen. Squad the Moscow contained after Friday prayer, but Alaini said that will make the old defense and give Captain time to prepare his starboard because the Karaim had left from the sea, but Adil had said the round was full of work. Isn't thought of movement inside the wool shoes, the old wedding hall. Everyone looked and here the old wedding hall studio between wedding hall between year ago village celebrate, but after the gross touring and share wedding happening there anymore, it was now usual meeting and public unconnected. Ismi said the place for meet from then because a place of sand if the truth was going to break we should happen tray align smell. She liked the meaning Adil not side getting bath families there were be difficult. Smith had not if each family believed the other had called the meeting looked and her with surprise. Smith's eyes was still she said they did controlled by Ram Manibi. Now the would use Rom to bring people into the light. The plan was simple, but the rich Alani would send message through woman, not man from the tea house. Woman moved through the village, difficult to enter house with the medicine clothes and simple convey. People noticed them less because the had been spent here. Presentation movement did not carry power. Alani would tell the sad that Kamal had agreed to speak and vending hall about Adil's father. Orhan would spend a future side scream on the simple because Asni's mother later had been forced by statement were true. To work Adil would not to Kamal, Asni would to selfish. But Aldi came, other would follow. Adi said he would also come, would not. Adil objected. Adi told him not to waste breath. He had present to be had to hear he could leave Lam to speak one useful sentence. Now the day had arrived, he would not spend in hide behind tree or line plate. Had his coat shoulder and side his would need sport Adi and he live without sport for half his life. One more work would not kill him that than push and at if they did. And last of would died moving to further through not away from it as darkness till then separate again. Adil went toward the cross house, the appeared path Asmi and went toward the future house through the Orchid road. Alaini told Hadi to say and room behind the chap where an old man looked to her mother would hide the later was for Adil carrying the man books, Ismi carrying coat and later Alaini key the net books with the name. This way one person was stopped as proof without no lost. Idol entered the Kondia house through the back gate. Camel was waiting. This continued as if the had now Adil was come the way for moved. Never me spoke. The night was to cool the dog from where Adil tore the whole photograph from his coat and hide to Camel. Camel looked and his face broke his torch. The image of Adil's father with one finger the torch. Son faced the future man. Adil watched his careful. There was surprise. A camel eyes only the hit came head now. Adil
asked why. One word, but it carried ears. Camel started slowly on the lost on wall. He said he was young, affair, and poor in courage. Adil's father entrusted him with a message that night. The camel arrived late. By the time he reached the shore, the meeting has turned into a choice. Rough men are very already there. One man was dead, another was bleeding. Sana was running the blood on her dress. Adil's father was trying to pull wounded man toward the boat, then shout name. Camel hid to behind the rock. He saw enough to know Rauf was behind it, but was rewind to the village. The elders has already chosen their story. The Furton side, the blame Kokoria, the Kokoria side, blame to Furton. The Rauf man separate proof that was not to prove. Camel tried to speak one that night. The younger brother was beaten badly. He never walked properly again. After the camel stayed silent, Adil listened with a face like a stone. Inside he was shaken. He wanted to shout, he wanted to ask how to camel were to watch him grow up with lies, but when he looked at the old man, he saw no to all guilt. He was a punishment. Camel had been living inside the night for decades. Silence had not to save him. It was hidden to be asked slowly. Adil asked it a word, speak now. Camel closed his eyes. He said he has spoken. The family were to call him crowd, lair, traitor, maybe a virus. Adil and said maybe. Camel opened his eyes and asked it. Adil could still stand beside him too after hearing what he had to done. Adil did not answer quickly. Then he said he could stand beside truth. If Camel stood the truth before, then yes. Camel nodded. It was not a yet forgiveness, but it was a beginning. At the Fenton house, the Ismi found Zarif in a room sitting beside a chest of old clothes. Oryx stayed outside the door. Ismi entered and placed her the mother letter in Zarif's lap. Zarif left to at handwriting and began to cry. Ismi said she had read to enough to her mother was not too weak, not too quiet, not too unlucky. Zarif, brave enough to forgotten man who carried gun. Ismi asked why the truth had been and yet the surface and said to be brave and died man to be. Isa sat beside her. She did not comfort to Zarif immediately. Some pain needed to face before it could be softened. Zarif said Ismi mother had to be a litter. Three place Zarif men found two words. Zarif found the third after the funeral and kept it. She wanted to give it to Ismi when she grew older, but every year danger remained and every year Zarif taught suffered. Then the Ismi became a woman and love for Adil returned like a sign from past. Zarif became afraid that the same fire will be again, so keep quiet. Ismi said quiet was a fire. Zarif nodded through tears. Ismi asked Zarif would speak at wedding hall. Zarif looked terrified. She said the Fenton man would never accepted shame in public. Ismi answered that shame was not the truth. The shame was letting lie. Use this dead. Warwick entered then asked after the door. He said he would to stand with them. Zarif looked at him shocked. Warwick's voice was rough. He said he was a mistaken control for duty. He had to harm Ismail to protection. He could not to repair that one speech, but he could stop adding stone to the wall. Zarif looked from him to Ismi and understood that word she knew was already changing. She nodded slowly. She said would become by morning the village felt tight as a drum. Message had to move quietly through the kitchen, courtyard, and narrow lines. The Kokoria family had that the camel had something to say about night. Adil father did. The Furton family heard the Zarif word reveal word left by Ismi mother. Some people came out of loyalty. Some came from fear, some came from gossip pulled like a them hook. Rough men here too that was unavoidable. By middle the nod to all wedding all was surrounding by people. The building stood with the faded blood doors and cracked to be around the entrance for wedding music. The played there women had to dance, men had to smile without to be a checking which family stood in which side. Now the hall looked tired, as if had been waiting for the people to remember why it built. Inside, chairs were arranged in even row. The Kokorias gathered on one side, the Fontans as on other. The villager filled the back. The space between two families looked like a river no one wanted to cross.
The story of Taşacak Deniz does not move like a simple love story. It moves like the Black Sea itself. Sometimes it's a quiet, sometimes it's dangerous, and sometimes a slow claim of our side, while a storm is deep inside. In this section, the focus not only when happen become other and ismi, but also one heavy silence between two families who have carried pain for many years. The audience, that person in the story is a fighter. Sometimes so are fighting love, so are fighting pride, some are fighting the old rules of family. A fighter rules that refuse to die is why the seers feel emotion, because a real image is not always one person. The real enemy's part or two can keep come back and standing between people who are only want a peaceful life. Adil Cole is man who looks stone from outside, but his heart is not made of stone. He carries found is listen. He's not the kind of man who speaks too much about his pain. His key thing inside are try to stand tall because he what weaknesses not allow many are except to be hard, proud and unbreakable. But Adil is not only a man of anger, it also a man of deep feeling. His love of animal and never been original is a not a soft love that is can forget after one bad day. It is kind of love that because part of person's law even when they try to walk away if they following him, even when told himself that is over his eyes, told any other told him many Ismi he many blessed fat and he many blessed the word between their families, but deep inside is now this heart tell belonging to some what Ismi future is also not a weak woman. She is one of strongest part of the story. She is emotion, but she is not helpless. She was surfing, but surfing have not destroyed her. It's made it sure more careful. She is now that every word can become a verb. Is her family? She is now that one wrong step can open an old wound again. Ismi is the trap between what she feels and what her family accepts from her. Her name belonging to future side, but her heart have always carried Adil in her corner. He is the biggest pain she could not full hit even when life gives her a reason. He cannot full love him is peace, because peace is the one thing to their family never allowed the confused, because the future family is not just a normal fight, is a long history of angel pride and fish pain. Is the stories like this the younger people are born in aware that did not try. There are told how to love, how to hate, how to trust, how to fear. They grow up learning old stories, and those stories become chains around the slave. Adil and Ismi as victims of this that did not create the hurting, but they are focused to pay the price from it. Their love becomes dangerous because it stands up against the rules of past families. In any other words, they could have loved each other openly. They could have built a home and families lived near the sea without fear, but their world love is never simple. Love is just like a quarry. The lasting part of series is the emotion, passion, or leave. The story still moves around family, sacred, Lord, love. The question of whether people can express the part episode 29 have already, and episode 30 is not the next big point of audience material, because the story is the not finished and emotion are standing and a place where only decision can change everything. When a story change the statement view do not only ask what will happen next, they ask who will break, who will forgive, who will but and who will final tell the truth. Adil's greatest battle is not only when the future family is greatest battle when it's him we want just but something and really look when simple he wants to but to can destroy people when it arrives too little and wants animals but lives animals means walking into a fire again. This is what makes his character interesting. Is not perfect, he make mistake, his pride can make his hurt, his anger and can make him belt, but his pain also make him human. The audience understand he become is not a hero without weakness, is a man who has been hurt deeply that he does not always know how to love without fear. Ismi strongly is different but just a heavy is a try to begin pulled from every side. She want to project herself but he also want to project the people so love. She want to be free but freedom is not easy when family owners play about personal happiness. There are a moment when Ismi look like I want to speak everything inside his heart but does stop herself that listen say more than what is sure that she have learning to surprise by having her really feeling in many ways. Ismi represent who women are strong because they had no other choice. She was learning to carry pain with difficult. She does not scream all the time. She does not beg anyone to understand her. She simply stands there even when a word around is try to question is run. The beauty of the Taşacak Deniz is that is used in the seas as more than a background. The sea becomes a character when the sea world is feel like other angel when it's deep and quality. It feel is me hide sadness when waves his look again and again. It feel like a old fight between two family. The does not let anyone forget his power in the same way the past in the story do not let anyone forget when happens before. Every way is like a memory, every stone is like a sacred chaotic future as any other layer to the story. He is not only side character, he carries the weight of the future family name and the pressure that with it in family ruled by pride. Many like Oris are expect to project the family image as a cause, but project can become control or it can become careless. When a person believes that family honor is more important than personal truth and the hidden the people close to them is one of strong theme of the series. Is asks a painful question: what does knowledge to begin love become a press? A liney marker is also important because here burning any other emotion back to the story. A pressure reminder viewed that the world of series is not only about to family. There are other family found and other stories connect and same land. Alliance rules help show how can travel between people sometime or person script can affect many lives become on high true can become the reason for man broke relationship in a series like this. Every character creating and piece of larger voice. The next section of the story showed move and deep emotion note of the repeat drama. The audience have already seen injury and family fight. Now the need means behind this movement. They need series where the silence is powerful. The need convey when we learn can change the attraction of relationship. The need to feel that the character not only reflect but also grown. Adil cannot stay only angel forever. Ismi cannot stay only forever. This love story want to become a strong must show that a find is true inside themselves. Images is where Adil stranger near the sea before super the village stay quiet is no is outside the vent is a cold and waves a move like a now sometimes that is a coming other does not speak and the first he only look and the water his face is dry he have one step properly his hand the hand sometimes from the past many any old letter and old photograph on small object that remind him of Ismi is trying to thought is a sea but his hand stop this small action can anything he want to forget him but he cannot he want to end the pain but the pain is light connect the have to whom and his love the Ismi he appear from behind but chain but because she also could not sleep she says before his a moment she saw nothing that the silence is important. The audience should feel his history between them. They have loved each other, hate each other, blank each other, and project each other. Not sample what can repair that when adults finals to and see his famous change, but only a little his heart is feeling click animals notice because now he's better than anyone. She softly asking when he's there. He does not answer straight. He said that she is only piece that does not ask a question. Is me replaced that a sea many not asking is remember everything. Thought is not this kind of series given the story emotion power is simple but is carry weight. Adil can tell here is something a better left. Ismi can answer their bright thing not do not disappear. They only wait of right storm to return. There the convert can slow move toward on old would between then Adil can ask whether she ever regret when happened. Ismi can look at him where he eyes and say that reject too small a word from what is scary but she should not back she should not feel work she should speak when claims sadness because Ismi's strength is the control. Adil Mani said that one movement chain but their leave is mean can say that it was not move but man air of heater before then move. This line is important because of shift a blast from one person to whole system around them. This love did not fail only because of one action. It was broke by family pride fear and the silly settlement war disagrees but in deep in he now she is right. The harder true is one of personal right now that but does not want to factor inside a future house. The atmosphere should feel heavy. This house is not only a home, it's a place where design and made sacred and hide that people can just Zarfik can see that Ism is changing. He can see that town rules are losing this power over his. This can make Zarfi often become when one person break the chain, the whole family order become to shake. Can enter with anger. His step it many had that Ismi want an early his aspect he meet Adel his injuries not only about Ismi is also about control is fear losing his power his fear that a family names will become fake a fear that Kukera's side will seen then after defined but under all this danger there many also be fear to begin left alone is a fight he interest is not simple. He can be cursed, but this harshness comes from a word that tied him a other way to surprise. It does not excuse him, but it make him more real and strong. Since she show comforting. Ismi here asked where she was. Ismi does not lower his eyes. She say he want to breathe. He says people with her nothing to not leave before and simple. She replied that people who are the trust do not need to explain every bit on this line can create tension with her become repaired man one that is a concert name is for families is me many answered that it this is real press and their family have been dealing from his hair. This won't be true point from his character. She is no longer only define herself. She is a challenge the root of the family thing. Many become, but Zarif can stop him with one cherry look. The would show that even have a return inside the house. Zarif can that Ismin has some true expense. Ismin can say she's already paid. Again, a language should be simple by emotion. The audience can feel tennis only become free inside herself. Even from outside world, the still and dangerous of the Cookerian side Adil family kid also be respectless. They have many scenes the Adil's motive were designed. They cannot control men like Adil often except to carry the family range to word. But when a man in his position began to question the old fight. The family seen it as better. There is any other key theme in church world. Peace can look like weakness, forgiveness can look like shame. A person who wants to stop the cycle street like someone who forget the right, but many be real way to harm the diet is not to create more that the real courage is and the what other can have a strong convey with someone he will side as all the trusting friends the person may tell him the illness will always belong to enemy side. Adil can answer that as expecting air calling her Chinese, but smart never believe his kind of line shows inner conflict clear that other person can remain him of blood between the family. Adil can say blood does not because Kulina is lapping more blood is more growth is not full fair for manger, but he's a begin to sing the arrangement and cannot tell him the show can always use the village as will living character. People tell door open quality window should become easy small continuous private pay click become public story. This make Adil and his administration even harder. They do not only judged by family, they are judged by everyone around them. A woman step manages a meeting near a sea look ahead too long anything becomes grow. This passion make even emotion seen more dangerous. Love cannot breathe when the will releases a witching of the fresh section of script should also show now start many be young boys Adil Ismina the many he tells someone without understanding the dangers but even the story change shape. People say the meat screen, people say the plan something, people say the old loves have written his place already full of tension becomes the fire. It does not matter whether the full story is true. What matter is what people choose to believe. This use family a pushing to what no confuse analysts can become important in this part of finding something other means she is discovered that his new remand is become use someone from height purpose not only confuse happen nature something someone before phone key the two family part is there where the story can become deeper man bears person fire peace because peaceful rangers all sacrifice many the fight be continued from here because someone but a power unity father is asked me forgive each other many past may to be open and if the past open someone people may lose everything that direction give the drama of the strong structure side of repeat further between the some people the story can forward had through the audience should begin to ask well right starting the old should who live first who change the story who true love is here this question ki the view search they also give every character a reason to act a good scene can show Alice walking through the village market. The market is full normal life. Seller calling out women buy food. Children run between. Still a fire speak about the weather, but under the normal sound endless. Here piece of glass one all women say is in miss have lost hair made any other say this planning revenge in the name of love. Many say the future will never allow this insult. Any others say that colleagues have waiting, love, long illness, listen, and replies that is a village prepare itself of any other stunches now that the water become bold before unset. Online can they visit Ismi privately does not accept her. She won here. She tell Ismi that people are speaking as stories grow when every month in this many closes as if women try but as a sacrifice you can say that it is feeling heavy silence become grow in aligning can ask in meeting either was the dangerous Ismi can answer that she do not meeting from the of the hope of the dream she might become some two cannot be carried alone any other this line. The change the subject. They want him to stop. Their fear become the first proof that something is right. Adil can visit an old fisherman who now bath families before the become strong. The old man mean live alone away from the village center. His hand ear and see his famous carry the sadness of someone who say thing and stay silent too long. Either asked him about night from a the old man first refused. He said that the sea had taken men and the land have taken hearts. Adil tell him that silence have also taken life. The old man looked at him and understands that others not asking for gifts is asking from the truth that shaped his life. The old man may not real everything at once and he can say that a story people now is not a whole story. He can say that one night everything changed. Someone arrived before the fight began. Someone whose name was later removed from a story. This gives the script a hook. Adal asked who he was about. Only man becomes afraid. He says some names are more dangerous than game. Adal left with more questions than answer. The key and drama leave without need any other physical fight back a future house. Ismi man find and all a team hide among family belonging. It could be a letter with drawn as photograph with the one person cut out on document and proof someone that she does not understand the full meaning and first but she feels important when Zulf see it where hand his face change the small changes. Younger Ismail release this project is connect the past tell here put it back. Ismail asked why Zav say more. Some memories are not from children. Ismail answered that it's not children anymore and then memories have already run his life. The scene can by emotion powerful. Selfing can they say something painful but honestly he can tell Ismail that now the truth will not bring peace, it will only give pain. A new name Ismail can answer can he lived with pain of year without knowing his name and the was born. This line shows image she is ready to famous what everyone Iris according she does not want a comfortable line anymore. The height of his section should slow down and allow motion. The breathe a strong script does not need concept shorting. Sometimes the most best drama comes from two people sitting in a room speaking careful because every sentence can break. Then Adil can Ismi should meet again meet the not is romantic way and first the meeting because both have founding piece of the same old script. They should be cat. They should not suddenly trust each other. Full this relationship have too much street from that, but they can begin to understand that the both of their were used by past time might meet in and about place near the scene. Men and all storing house where fishing net are kept run story outside the sound of water on the roof create pressure. Ismishul Adil, the object of founding Adil tell her one for the old punishment side the first time they realized that our memories do not match the vanity family story. Adil says someone have been find Hatter to bar side Ismi asked who should again from then Adil said a person who fair what would happen if a story together inside a part. This is a strong proof point. The love story become connected to true story. Adil and Ismi no longer only two wonder lover that become two people try to uncover the line that destroy them. This gives their relationship a new reason to extend. They are not simple return to each other because they miss love. They are focused work together because the truth is bigger than their pain. But trust is still difficult. Adil can ask Ismi she is hide anything else. Ismi can become Hatton become his beloved reminder here of old days. She can say that every time she taken one step toward him is pull her back. Adil can answer that every time his trust life a pushing him there is not excuse but to show why explaining Ismi can shortly say that she is not a life. She is Ismi. The line is simple but emotions tell Adil to say as a person not a symbol everything that happened him the almost and movement can trumpeted by dangerous someone many have allowed Ismi or someone may have seen Adil enter the old story how the audience should feel that peace never lasts long in the story. A shadow move outside the door open suddenly it may be or someone from a core side or person working from hide immense scene should not become too easy his art arise is energy angel and export his seed then together and believe the words Ismi try to explain but does not want to explain he want control as this step forward but Ismi step him because one wrong can move can start a new fight can accuse of pride her family excuse can answer that asking question to not braves or Hans is standing with Adil surprise Ismi say standing with line is war his can shock him man not understand what she means but the scene that he founding something is Angel become X with fear is now part of all seconds can become even more interesting and may not be man wins but he may be project a version of a past because he thinks the true will destroy the family. Adil can tell that old stories are broken can warn him then some story break people when the break Adil can say they are all already broken. There is a strong exchange to show that everyone now the past is the dangerous but only Adil can accuse Ari to face is after the confrontation the family confused become share the future many try to keep us inside the house the man want Adil to stop case the very be prepared of a open conflict but the emotionally heart remain the same who people are more close to truth and the what around them is a try to pull them apart. Strong section should also include a quiet moment of Ismi alone. She can sit is her room and night. The house is silent, but her voice is memory. She's remembered began young, remember time before everything became ugly. Many be she remember saying it order from far away before love had a name. Many be she remembered the first time she understood that her family would never allow be hard to choose fair. This memory should be written in the simple emotional language. This show that Ismi pain is not new, it began long before the current. Even she can open a windows, look and the dress in the same is a vegetable clear, but she can hear it. She shepherd to hear sheep that she is tired of begin. His line can become her emotion promise she was not now what will happen next. But here arrived that she will not return to sell this growth. The audience want to see Ismi raise not only Sakra Other can have a simple lawn moved here. Many sit here far outside the village, unable to go home. Is remember, it's me what I am not life I am. It's me their sentences stay with him for air. The true hair is the face of pain. He was to bless hair, then to the whole truth. But now he began to see that she was also trapped. There does not what happened between them. It does not heavy everything in one night, but is open a small door, through the door, forgive many one day, center the next day. The tension should move into a people space. Many days of forget his village of friendship, pair, a family meeting, a market dispute, a lawyer, even their past families appear public scene important because private feeling become dangerous when exposed before other adult can accuse. Many according looked and each other, but everyone since the connect watching then one Zarif watching Ismi dark on side watching Adil the village wait for one spark and the Grant the smaller arrangement can become big. Someone make a comment about Ismi Adil here it his all injuries he want to define here but defining here public will confirm to class. Ismi also understand this should look him from across the space and give a small her hand. Adil claim his jaw stay silent. This powerful move become a show control the order. Adil Maggie's explode time. Adil is learning that project someone does not always many fighting. Sometimes it means not gives the scene them want, but the image means to push then one side many insult the other. Someone may motivation the old blood. Someone many say that the sea overflowed again. The title mean can return here. Thus is not only what is all pain the people holding back soon or later. If one open the true everything will overflow. The audience should feel that the story is more forward a bigger emotion crowd. Alini can quality observes who is encouraged the arrangement. She noticed one many moving between groups wishing to side. This many may not be important looked, but she is finding the fire illness follow his letter and see him meeting someone except task can be hide a hand behind the new conflict. The script can end this part with Alice sees that his letter was not remand someone trotting his purpose and the same time in life can discover the object she finding have a missing part. Many be letter is a half true, many be a photo have someone emotion need the other half until many have accept the missing without now it the create a reason from them to meeting again. A story becomes like two broken hellies try to become whole. This also one largely land Ismi themselves, they are two broken people who cannot understand the path unless they face together. When Adil return home, his research is through only famous thing. He find a box that belonging to someone from his family inside. They a simple atom player, bat on old cave, a cloth and paper damaged by time. Among them, he found something that matched who Ismi showed him. His face changed, his life connected. Is not immediate, is not emotion. There is a proof before he can. Smith's situation can become more dangerous. Many discuss tension. Must be watching him and he orders someone to follow her. Smith noticed inside of speaking. She said into to her advantages. He goes someone her less first, making the flower believe she have nothing to hide. She slip away through a back path. She now of the children. This show intelligence. Isme should not be written as only emotion. She is clear because service thought to be clear. She meeting Alanius who want about the man separate. Alani say this bigger than family injured. Someone is more Peace like a game. Ismi asked if the she now whole Elena says no yet, but she saw some anger too now that the strongest began pushed by human hands. Ismi understand that time is running out of they do not expose the trope but families be digressed into a dissection can then return to idle as me meeting under pressure. They do not have the luck of long romantic tale. Adil show her the matching piece. Smith take out here on together. They say that the two pieces from a message name are circle this hand touch smack when they place the paper together. They both feel it but never speak about this better than focus remains the emotion she is but the situation is not serious. The circus can point to a person who was believed to have left the village year ago and someone thought to be died of sacrifice meeting place. Adil said that I must go there. English say that cannot together because everyone are watching. Others say anyone has watching to sufferings from ear not let them both them start to throw Alice almost her smile but sadness stop here. She said too many not safe then other answered that leave already destroyed them as so is the only road left the emotion center of section to it should feel like the move when both characters choose action they stall word they are still not full but they are no longer standing still. They are no longer letting old people, old line and old heading the sky. Everything the final part of section should build Sempes Adil and accused to follow the care. Separate and meeting as hearts place outside the village. Adil arrived first. The place is a wild man and old house near the cliff empty from air. The wind removed thought. Broke would he enter careful inside the fine sign than someone he been dust and dust been there are chair moved there is a fresh mark on cap still wet. This means the part know that someone is active is handing it as means no here away but she is the player. Someone blocks the road. He may be or someone works from the hired person. He tells her to return home. Ismi refused the one here. Then she does not understand when she is opening. Ismi said that is extra. Why she must open the person meant right here in direct saving then someone to take more pride. They take leave Ismi become often be but she does not to back this important courageous note of above affair coverage is to walk to far will face till there the other inside the old house find a mark of a connect to both families the hairs for footstep to accept is me but is someone else the people person stay the shadow at last what is there the answer does not come in demand and the person say the adil have become just like a father asking question the should have stay breathe this line shock him become his father also secret but true adil realized that a story he told about his father may be incomplete before the person relief more a sound outside destroyed them accused man arrive the shadow person is appear through any other action other run after them but those them near the rook Esme enter and sees face she asks with happiness. Others says father now Esme asks what it means. Other look and the sea belonging and say the old find was not born from honors, it was born along the way Christ had under the cliff, the section can close there where both of them standing on the true then when it change everything descending in the next section are clear but the audience will not want to know who spoke the other but his father now while the family were tied who still try to project the line is also key the emotional line a leaf between all Adil and Ismail, they are not together yet, they are not held, but they are standing on the same side of the road first time in a year. They are the more powerful than suddenly love. Confused, the strongest part of the story that is understand pain does not disappear quickly. Forgiveness is not a single scene. Trust is not repetitive. It's a apologize. Love is not unless people also choose honesty. इसमें journey should contain slow with every step contain. Sometimes if they never grow, the story become repeat. The best path is between these 2 points. They should move forward, but every moment should feel earning with the section. The emotion store become larger because the character began to understand that they were not on fighting each other. They were fighting a story written by others. They were carrying anger that many have been shared by line. This does not move this responsible, but is keep that a challenge to choice to difficult. The see more flow, but man, this time it will not only destroy many. This time it was courage away, but wrote this time after the store something honestly can finally remained the first chapter. The next chapter should open with the village walk up to new kind of fair, not the old fair to open fighting, but the deep fair to throw people who build their live on silence which feel the ground moving under them. Family that used to hate us are defined with not know out who they are without enemies. Other one have to discuss whether he is ready to lose the respect of his own what people to find just images will have to discuss whether she is free to stand the gainers here has to project the true and the somewhere is a shadow. The person who create a project the old line will understand the Adil and me together in a more dangerous than other of them alone. This is where Tasha Tag Budanis becomes more than a romantic family drama. It becomes a story about inherit not money, not land, not house, but emotionally inherit what to parents leave to their children when they refuse to forgive, when a do family passed on, when they teach hate and do what happened when love appears is the media where and few to do this question make the seas powerful. They are simple question but the touch really human life. Adil and Esme understand that at the center of this question their love many be wanted but is not empty. This pain many be have but is not meaningless. The scene around them is real but is also live and like the scene. This story has not finished. Speak the old near the left did not feel empty anymore. A few minutes Adil had believed he was only a forgotten place, a dead conveyor of the valley where the wind entered through broken wood and you slept on the floor. But now, after hearing the shadow voice, the house life with the dangers of what still moved inside his hand, his father is now sometime. His father asked a question. His father is now walking near the same height through many be was why his life has been destroyed. Others store near the open door will look and the sea blowing the life the way we are string the road with the dim sound like the earth itself was angry. Ismi studio behind him breathing fast after his difficult journey. She is not after again and once he understood that Adil was not ready to answer his famous was not only shock it was wonder is a new way how someone is open and look room inside him a focus him to look and what where is there is step lower. She looked around the room. There were mark on the floor, fresh mark made by show. A chair was too slightly away from wall near the corner. An old lamp had been touched the sand because the dew around it had been moved. This place was not someone had become here many from days, many be from years. Isme felt a cool face, not just the past was slipping. It was began, got his hair, hand, eyes, and footsteps. She looked and Adil he sighed softly that they should have lived before the personal return. Adil did not move. He was starting and the broken window as if a wolf still in the shadow that have spoken to him. Ismi touching his arm. The small touch brought him back. His looked and hair and first time on his face moved. The old pain between this appeared. The only fear remained his side. So low weight that a person. Now his father not only be name or only be story. The person spoke as if the hand see his father searching of same through Smith let the meaning of what his other father had now after the line, but then everything they had been told could be won. Every fight, every grace, every broken promise could have been told on something false. His thought he was too heavy to toss. She talked to table and placed two papers pieced together again. The torn message looked way and all almost useless, but now it felt more dangerous that the word was not complete but a same the connect but fabulous and part had the name, the other had the fused name, and under them were third name half missing. Then third name was a key someone had taken care to remove for every story. Someone had cut it from the past like a face cut out a photograph. Adil came to table. His hand was tight and the side he wanted to feed something, but there was a thing here that would answer him. He said that his father was called proof, angry and dangerous by fused decided. In his side, his family told the same kind of thing about his family. Adil looked at the shape, but she did not step back. She continued with claim pain. She said that when children was born, then did not know citing someone, teach them, sometimes give them names and stories. Someone points across the road and will say they people are you. Initial Israel loaded his eyes to paper. Now she was right. The had spent so many years hitting like a ghost in fear, asking who had switched it from him now. From the first time he wanted to remove it, but it had become power of skin outside. A strong wind pushing against the house of wood wall made a tight sound. The image moved toward the door and looked outside. The road was empty, but she had the feeling that they were being watching. The old house stood fair from the village, but not fair to be safe in place like the even stones seem to report when they say she'll told Adil that whoever came here would not stay quiet after seeing them together. Adil answered the cynicism had already done damage. Ismi true to him and silence as dangerous but reckless stroke would also kill. Adil gave a better smile and said the people had been right because a line ceremony through the scalp exchanged the felt then old house separate. It was not because they did not trust each other, it was because the village would not forgive them from they were seen trotting together from such a high place as he must to normal path near the tree. Adil walked toward the rock road and led to layer shore before the separate Ismi stopped and looked back at him. She wanted to say something, but the word felt too large, and she wanted to say that she was asked. She wanted to say that she could should be careful. We want to say the first time in years she did not feel alone in her inside. She only said that the person who spoke to him should come again. Adil not his side is open say Ismail understood the danger. The answer Adil was no longer waiting for truth to come guide. He was ready to pull it from the park when the park his hand when Ismi searching the village air felt different. Nothing had changing in the shrink, but everything felt shared. Woman was staying carried back from the market. Children was still running after a bag. Man was still sitting near the tea house. Speak about work will silent to every business. But Ismi felt every eyes on her. She lowered her hand from only a move their lease again. She should not walk like a guilt person. She had done nothing wrong except asked a question. The fine thought who want life comfortable will line as she passed the tea house. The taking began softer. She heard his name, then Adil knew, then the old family name spoken is Leah. She did not stop. She is now that if she is stopping forever, fair insult she would spend her if standing in same place and future house was waiting. His studio sucked like a man got appreciate his face was hard, but Ismi he pulled a sea worn behind his angry. He asked him where she had been. She did not answer. Quick, she looked at the old wall of house then and him. She sighed. She had been walk language without honor. He said people who walk do not return with dust to the shoes with a clap. Rod Ismail looked down of a second and said that was right. She shows hand here, but she was tired of finding. She called him that already now where she had been. He did not need to ask Aistra. He asked if she had Adil. Ismi did not say and did not say no. His listen was younger, moved close and told her then she was the name of family where her hands